Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad that you can join me tonight. Today, I have a really good video for you guys. So it's really important to bring awareness and some intention into this subject. And so this is a really important topic for us to talk about tonight. I'm highlighting an amazing organization, and I'm just thank you so much for joining me tonight, Chuck.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about first what is the name of the organization and tell me a little bit about what it is.
Okay. Project 180 is the name of the organization. And what Project 180 is a reentry program for individuals that are coming back to Sarasota after being incarcerated. We also help individuals that suffer from the disease of addiction. And we are set up to help people reintegrate back in our community a little bit easier once they get either out of prison or out of jail or out of rehab. So that's what basically our main focus is making sure that people have a safe place to come to and have a fighting chance of starting a new life.
Mhm.
So that's that in a nutshell. That's what Project 180 is.
And I love that so much because a lot of times when somebody gets incarcerated, when they get out, they literally leave without a dollar to their name and nowhere to go. And so many people in their life, that they've lost along the way while they've been incarcerated. So this is a really amazing organization. And that's why I really wanted to come and talk about it tonight because we really need to bring awareness to this topic.
Yeah, in Sarasota is really difficult too once you get out because I was born and raised here and I love this town. I mean, it's great. The beaches are great. I love everything about it. But let's face it. I mean, it's hard to live in this town,
Yeah.
and starting from
Mhm.
zero is almost impossible. So, the struggles are real out here for not only people who are trying to start their life over again, but normal people. So we have that to fight with also. But I've been with Project 180 for 2 years now. Last year, I touched 45 individuals myself, and that
Wow.
was getting them a phone, clothes, housing, whatever they needed to make the transition um, easier for them. And now that 45, as of last year, only 6 went back to incarceration so
That's
far.
actually pretty amazing because the
Yeah.
recidivism rate is pretty high.
Yeah, I think one thing special about us is we reach out to the individuals before they get out, both in the county jail because we have a great connection with the recovery pod. Lieutenant Tracy's on our board; she's a big supporter of what we do. The recovery pod is a big supporter of what we do. Deputy Zach, who just retired, is going to be part of Project 180 in some capacity coming up soon. And our board members are they're fabulous. They support us. They let us do what we need to do. They understand that we have the experience and the knowledge of what needs to be done, what needs to happen to help these people get a fighting chance.
Mhm.
Myself and Seth Campbell, who's the residential program coordinator, we both have lived experience with, disease, addiction, incarceration. So we
Mhm.
bring that aspect of lived experience to our program,
Mhm.
and it's a lot to say about the trust that Project 180 gives us to do that, and the backing that they do. Without our board and without the community board, community Sarasota community, we wouldn't be around. I mean, we don't take any federal funding. All our funding comes from grants. We also get funding from our local organizations around the Community Foundation of Sarasota, Charles and Marjorie Brasnick Foundation, Gulf Coast Community Foundation, the Koski
Mhm.
family, and hundreds of donors.
Mhm.
So that is what he helps us, get this word out and get people in our community to understand what these people are facing, so that they have a little bit of more of a compassionate understanding of what these people are
Mhm.
trying to do once they get out.
And it really takes a community, right? If we want to keep people out of the prisons, we as a community need to
Hmm.
surround these people and help give them the tools and equip them to be able to be successful in the world when they get out. So I
Yeah.
understand that. Well, actually, maybe let's do this first. Can you tell us a little bit about why this means so much to you? Maybe a little bit of your lived
Yeah.
experience.
Growing up, I was an athlete. I was a jock. I played at Riverview High School, and I went through some hard times. I had some problems with the law. I went and I had to figure out what I wanted out of life, and it took me a long time. So once I did, and once I understood what it takes,
Mhm.
to be successful and try to have a better life, I committed myself to helping. It means so much to me because I see the fellowship and the understanding that each addict and alcoholic shares when we know each when we it's like an unspoken word. Like we can walk in a room and we can talk to each other and not even say a word. Seth was telling me the other day how you go to an event and you know that you're going to that event and there's going to be people like you in there and it's just easy to start a conversation. And I think that's why I feel so passionate about making sure that people understand that they can start over, no matter what.
Mhm.
I was lucky. I mean, my family, I lost my mom when I was 17, and I lost my dad when I was 41 or 42, um, right before I got sober. So
Mhm.
my family's been made up of friends, addicts, alcoholics, criminals, judges, lawyers, doctors. So it
Mhm.
ranges. But I've been lucky. A lot of people aren't as lucky as I am, but I know that by me showing them that they can do this and get out there, that they can have a better life. So, me being a part of it is, I think it helps the community to see someone that can bring the real side of it, and
Mhm.
see that they can come out the other side.
Mhm.
Like for a while there, I mean, I had a lot of friends, and like I said, I was born and raised here, and for a long time, I became a harm instead of a friend or someone that that they could count on, which I was always proud of myself on. And it
Mhm.
took a long time, and I'm still mending those fences, but it's just one day at a time because I know that I was a better person than I was. I just went through some stuff.
Right.
So every day is a new day. It's humbling, it's rewarding, it's frustrating, it's sad, it's all those wrapped up in one. And I think in Sarasota we do a great job of identifying it, and our organizations are all starting to realize that working together is it helps. Harvest House, for a while there, they weren't the best place to go to. Now that they've changed a little bit, I mean, I have a great relationship with them, and we're starting to help each other out to keep people off. I mean, without them, I have 4 active clients that are there right now. Without them, they'd be on the streets, no
Mhm.
doubt about it. And that's because of my ties in the community, and people who are over the leaderships willing to say, hey, we don't know everything. We can help each other out. What you don't have, we have. What we have, So we do that, and that's one thing that I'm glad about working for Project 180, and being able to, you know, um, bring our community together a little bit more.
Mhm. Yeah,
So.
that's really important because if we're ever going to truly help people, we as a community have to come together. And so that's really what when I've been listening to you talk, like, first of all, we as a community, like the people on the front lines, right? Like you have
Hmm.
that lived experience, you can
Yeah.
reach people in a way that other people can't, that a professional is not going to be able to reach them.
Hmm.
It's not just like you give them hope, but also accountability, right? Because ain't
Yeah.
nobody getting away with shit on you,
No, no, no. Yeah, it's a curse and it's a talent at the same time. Sometimes I can be a little bit overwhelming, but some people need that.
Mhm.
And
Right.
it's a balancing act. You have to show kindness and compassion to people. And at the same time, you got to show them, that they have to be held accountable. And a lot of people aren't. Like, you know, I learned this a long time ago when I went through the Salvation Army program, and um, I had to recognize that people don't know because they just don't know.
Right.
I think society in a whole has problems identifying that or understanding that just because you're raised this way, this person might not be raised that way. So they don't have any idea what they're doing is wrong, you know,
Mhm.
what or why they're acting is wrong. So you got to meet them where they're at, you know, and in order to help someone see something different, you can't just put them down.
Right.
So it's a fine balancing act. And I try to do that as best as possible, you know, and we don't. And another thing that I'm a huge supporter of is the mental health aspect. That you know, NAMI is great.
Mhm.
I am a huge mental health enthusiast. I'm dual diagnosed also, so I get
Mhm.
it, and I try to help people get it. But then again, you got to meet them at their own place. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that really brings me into the next question I was going to ask you, because recovery isn't just, or re-entering society isn't just about, one thing. It's about a variety of many pieces all
Mhm.
coming together so that you
Yeah.
can live like a whole full life, right?
Yeah.
Mentally, spiritually, emotionally.
Mhm.
So, what are the 6 pillars of Project 180?
The first one is recovery, because without recovery, there's no growth possible. Without being able to take a look at what you need to change, there's no change to be had. So there has to be a willingness to want to recover and be better. The next is housing. I mean, housing is one of the, you know, the Maslow hierarchy, where our
Mhm.
government is going towards that a lot, and you know there's controversy about it, housing first and this and that, and you know I'm not going to go into that, but housing is a close relationship um, between, you know, fail and succeed.
It's
So if
true.
you don't have a house, you don't have that confidence of being able to get ahead, so you're always thinking about, you're in flight or flight mode. So
Mhm.
that's another thing that is a pillar of our organization. Employment. We are very lucky that we've had a lot of people that have supported us, and our employees um, our residents have been employed. We haven't had too much trouble getting someone employed, but we want to make sure that they get their job, they pay for their own way. That's why we really don't like to take people in with their parents' money or their friends' money. We want them to, you know, earn it. So employment is a big thing that we want to, you know, harp on. And then finances. We show people what finances need to look like, what it is. We do that by we have a financial literacy class that we take in the county jail. Not, you know, we take it. It's 8-week class. We take it a couple times a year, and that little class helps people realize what a checkbook is, what a, you know, bank account
Mhm.
is, and you know, credit card and stuff. So we really touch on that, and explore people's finance, you know, education. We want to make sure they're educated on that. In relationships, trying to help rebuild relationships. We try to get people to understand that, you know, we want you to build your relationships back, but not at a cost that's going to be hurting you or someone else.
Right.
So, you know, walking through, um, helping them find the relationships either with a loved one or a family member or a child, and showing them, you know, this is what you need to do. You know, not to expect too much, but just take it as it comes. And the last one is the health. The health
Mm.
aspect is one thing that we do very well. We work closely with Centerstone and or Center Place, Centerstone. Sorry, no, Center Place. Sorry, I get
Center
them both
Place Health.
confused.
I
We work
know.
with both of them. We work with both of them, but we definitely, Center Place Health is definitely a place that is very easy for us to access,
Mhm.
to get people in and get them seen right away. We work with Linda Martinez over there, and she's a great person. She believes in what we do. She'll fight for us to get someone in. She's, you know, she doesn't just let it stay, you know, like she's a fighter, you know, a lot. We need that, you know, like we get that, you know, like everyone needs to see a doctor, but doctors aren't available. Insurance is not
Mhm.
available. So it's like, if you do have insurance, it's like they're going to put you through like 100 different people you need to see. So it's something that those are basically the 6 things that we do here at Project 180 that makes us, and I think we, I'm going to toot our own home, but we stand out from other programs, and
You do.
and it's a dedication of Barbara Richards, who started the program back 15 years ago, and got it to where we're at now, and our board members who, like I said, we have probably one of the best boards around that are not trying to fix things that they don't understand.
Mhm.
They're guiding us in the right direction. They're helping us out. They're behind what we do. We see them. We know who they are. We interact with them. They're not just people on our board taking up space. So it's something that we have a great board. I can't say enough about them. David Schul at Beneva Flowers, Wendy Cox. They're awesome, and they
Mhm.
support us whenever we need something.
Yeah, that's amazing. And again, it goes back to that community effort, right? When
Mhm.
everybody pitches in, really,
Yeah.
you're able to change so many lives. Like you said, you touched 45 people's lives today or this year that maybe
Mhm.
otherwise would not have even had a chance. And with those 6 pillars, I love that so much because
Mhm.
I just know for me, like in my journey, if I didn't have a stable place to live, which
Mhm.
at the time was rehab, but anyways, if I didn't have a stable place to live, like I would have never been able to really get into that recovery process. So, by providing them a safe environment where they're able to recover and be responsible and
Mhm.
employed and build relationships and work on their health, I mean, all of that stuff is so important. And you guys really have set the bar really high here. And that's why I really wanted to talk about this because this is a really important conversation that we need to have. Maybe, I mean, we have viewers that are all over the world. Maybe there's
Yeah.
somebody else right now that's in another state or another country. Like this is a great model
Mhm.
to build for your area because this place is really changing lives. So,
Yeah.
speaking of changing lives, we're going to talk about changing lanes right now. So,
Yes.
tell us about changing lanes.
So changing lanes. First off, changing lanes is a bowling event that I initiated last year, and it's
Mhm.
just an event that we put on to bring our residents and family members together with other people in the community. Sheriff's Department came out strong last year. People from Salvation Army, Miss Lisi, people from there, they all came out. They supported us. Yourself, your husband.
Mhm.
It's just a place that event that we have to have fun and raise money at the same time. And if you donate $45 in this next hour to Project 180, you can get a ticket. Our tickets are selling for $65. I know
Mhm.
that's a little steep, but times are tough out there for everybody. The bowling alley didn't give us a discount, so but you do get pizza and soda and your kid. And we had kids out last year. Kids came last year, and they had their own little bowling like lanes, and it was fun. It was an event where you don't feel like you're committed. You're having to give something. You're there to
Mhm.
have fun. You're there to see. If you gave money, you're there to see where it's going, what
Mhm.
your where your money's going, what's happening with the money. And I was proud of it last year. And this year it's our second year, and it's something that I'm very proud of, and I can't wait to have it. It comes up on
Mhm.
February 14th or February 13th. Sorry. So if your
Wait,
kid,
isn't it August 13th?
yeah, sorry, August, sorry,
Okay,
August,
okay, I
yeah,
wanna make sure because 'cause I'm coming, so I wanna make
yeah,
sure I'm
yeah, no,
coming on
no,
the right
August,
day.
August, yeah, August 13th, 3 days after school starts. So,
Yeah.
um, and I know school comes back, so that might be a little thing, but your kids can bring them to the bowling alley, get them all tired out for the first full week of school. So that is what Changing Lanes is. Changing
Mhm,
Lanes is an event that we are having to promote Project 180, promote our residential program, because Project 180 has a couple different programs. We have our residential program, which Seth Campbell is in charge of, and we just bought our third house. So we're opening it on August
nice.
9th.
Mhm,
Thanks to all the the people that have helped us that I mentioned before. without those foundations, we would not be able to do anything that we do. And in this housing market is so crazy that, it's a miracle that we have 3 houses. We had 2 houses for the longest, but this third house is really going to take us over the top. And my program, first week out, is something that is for anyone who's coming back from prison. So men, women, whatever if you're coming back to Sarasota, we want to make sure you have a chance at getting a fresh start and being able to have a life of meaning. So change lanes, bowling tournament, bowling events. If you donate $45 in the next hour to Project 180 at their website, we will take $20 off, and you will get a ticket. Also, you can go to Eventbrite, change the lanes, look it up. If you want sponsorship, still out there. If you got a company that needs some tax write off, and like I said, we're 100% nonprofit, and we have tax write offs. We're everything's legit about our organization. That's another thing that I love about Project 180 is you get these fly by night organizations that you donate something to, you know where it's at, where the money went. I can guarantee you that our money goes exactly where it is. I am very, Barbara it keeps us online. Our board keeps us in line. We don't overspend. We don't underspend. So, because we realize what the empowerment is, just getting someone a phone. That right there is like, people take that for granted.
Yeah.
And we, so there's many things that we help. And then sometimes they don't come home with a license, because if they missed a flow bus, we need to get them a license or birth certificate, clothes. It's just those little things. If you look good, you feel good, you'll do good. So that's what that's where, and then we also have other events through the year. Our main fundraisers are our Strong Voices lecture series, where Barbara started 15 years ago, bringing people into of all different areas of like recovery and reentry, to come and speak and show people exactly what we do and what's going on out there and what's being done, so that the Sarasota residents and community can get an idea of what people face when they get out. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. So if you guys are close by, or you're in Sarasota and you want to come to Changing Lanes for the next hour, it's going to be $45. I have dropped the link in the comments. Even if you're not in Sarasota and you want to donate or connect, just go to the link and you can find everything that you need to know about this amazing organization there. Chuck, thank you so much for coming
thank you
on
for
and
having
talking
me. I
about this.
appreciate it.
Yeah, this was awesome. And also, let me just plug, if you guys want to hear Chuck's whole story, you can go to my YouTube channel and find it. Just search Sonia Johnson on YouTube. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Have a good night.
You too.